What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show back with another video, and today we're not really doing a video. I mean, I guess we are, but it's not really gonna be much of a video. This is more of an audio thing. I just hit the mic. I watched the Dragon Ball Superhero movie. I believe this was called Dragon Ball Superhero, and man, I love it. I really do love it. I want to talk about like a couple of things I really did like. If you want to see like more videos like this, if you feel like this conversational type video was for you, I could get, a couple friends together and we could just do like anime conversations and stuff. Just hop on Discord and just talk about some anime, talk about some stuff that just, that really matter. All right, now let's talk about how I ended up watching Dragon Ball Superhero. Now, I originally wasn't going to watch it because normally I don't watch a lot of anime movies like that. I might watch, I'll watch the anime movie for sure, but I don't actually actively go out my way to go see it in the theaters. And that came for something like Broly. Even though Broly was a highly anticipated movie and it ended up being a great movie, I think specifically, I didn't really never even worry about going to see movies like that. I really wanted to see Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, but I never really kind of made it, so I kind of scratched that out. But a friend of mine, a family member of mine, he went to go to the movies to see the Idris Elba movie. I believe I said his name right. The Beast movie, and he was basically talking about how it was really good. And then we kind of talked about how we needed to go to movies, see a little bit more movies, and then it was like, okay, let's link up, let's go to the movies, let's just have a good enjoyable time, you know what I'm saying? Let's just go watch the Dragon Ball Superhero movie. Now me personally, normally when I go to the theaters, right, and I went to the theaters for pretty much like a lot of the big MCU flicks, basically a lot of the more popular movies. I've been to the movie theaters to see them. So like Endgame, Infinity War. I like, so I just make it go with my cousins or my family and stuff and just kind of go and watch like some of the MCU movies. So I've been to the movie theater quite a bit. I'm not saying that I don't go that often. I go like every time a big movie come out, Doctor Strange, so on and so ever. So basically, man, we go all the time. But my point is, what I'm trying to get at is I like to buy tickets online. I just like to be prepared. Our movie theater specifically, I've never really ran into an issue of overcrowding or selling out, whatever. But it's just how I am. I like to be prepared. I like to go and buy my tickets. So I ain't got to give no money. I can just show up my phone or something and get my little ticket confirmation number and just basically just make the process easier. Now, normally when I go with my uncle. My uncle's younger than me. We're technically around the same age, but he's still like a couple years younger than me. So, we go watch all those movies and stuff, and it's a really enjoyable time. It's a really good time. Just to take a little bit of time out the day to basically, because I work a lot. I work like 6 days a week. So, it's a very hectic work schedule, and it is great to just kind of watch a movie every now and again. You know what I'm saying? Just do something that's really outside. It ain't nothing major. It ain't nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to the movies. Like something simple. But most of the time, every time we go, we get like this tea. I think it's like a Gold Bond brand or whatever. They got this tea. It's really good. It's a really good tea now. It is also very expensive. Like I swear it was like maybe $6 for one little small thing of tea. And I don't know if I find it, I'll put it up on screen, but one small thing of tea. And I thought that was actually crazy. Like that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. Cause obviously when you grow up, you watch like movie, the movie theaters prices are gonna be high. And it's not like I didn't have it to get it. But to me personally, man, I don't know. Whether you feel like it's right or wrong, I feel like I just like to bring my own snacks. So this is the first time I actually did that specifically. I actually brought my own stuff, like my own juice and stuff, just to kind of like time myself over. I didn't do no overabundance of candy and stuff. I had like a drink. I had like 2 drinks or whatever, and that was pretty much it. It wasn't nothing crazy, but it was our own personal snacks. Cause just for me, that's just way cheaper. Cause the tickets for Dragon Ball Super was already about like $30 together. Obviously, I think when you order online, you have to pay like a little convenience fee, and it doesn't really seem like much, but it kind of adds up, which is crazy. That's why for me, it's like I'm hoping this movie is gonna be good. I'm hoping it's gonna be a really good movie, and like I said, it is. But we'll get into that. And I'll actually like kind of do maybe a spoiler section. Cause like I said, I want to do more videos like this, just talking and just kind of vibing or whatever, just kind of explaining some story times. That'd be kind of interesting. So like I said, man, we get up to the movie theater or whatever, and I got my bag, on me. We go inside, we get our tickets. Everybody in the movie theater looks miserable. I don't know whether it's just like it's work, you know what I'm saying? Cause when I always was young, I was like, if you work in a movie theater, you really had it. Cause every movie that came out, every big release, you could just, you know what I'm saying? And obviously you couldn't see it at work, but there are things you can do when you specifically work in an establishment. There are things that you can actually do. So like sometimes you might can go in there, sweep in the floor and go watch a movie or something. But that's just idiotic because I mean they working. But honestly, I guess if you're dealing with a lot of like teenagers and stuff and like young adults or even adults of any age, honestly, taking their kids and stuff to different movies, people going out on dates, people just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? You deal with a lot of different age groups of people. It can be kind of annoying. I can get that. It's not like they were rude or anything. Honestly, they were pretty cool. It's just mostly just seemed like they just really didn't enjoy their job. So before we get into the actual spoiler part, I will say we got our tickets and everything was cool. And, I was kind of a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie. Cause what it was, I had a bag on, but I had a bag inside of my hoodie. Cause I've seen people carry like bags and stuff in there before, like little boot bags or whatever, but I don't really know, what I'm saying, specifically how that works. So, sneaking in your own drink or whatever. Obviously, it's probably against like the rules of the theater. And, so yeah, you might get kicked out. You might get banned. You don't specifically know what the situation is. But I feel like generally it wasn't really that well hidden. And there was a police officer right there to check everybody in. So I think he just mainly not necessarily he didn't care, but he kind of got it. But before we actually start talking about the spoiler part of this review for the Dragon Ball movie, I want to talk about the just the general feel of it, talk about a little bit of the characters without spoiling much. When I get to the spoiler part, I will let you guys know, just in case you haven't seen it and you want to go see it, you can skip to a certain part of the video. Alright, so first of all, I want to say Piccolo was amazing in this movie. I want to say it's like just a couple of general thoughts without really giving crazy descriptions. I want to say I really liked the new characters. I mean, all except for a couple. I really did like the new characters. I don't know what it was, but they really grown on me, and I want to see them in more stuff now. I actually want those specific characters in Xenoverse. If they bring them back into Xenoverse, I'll start playing again. I want them in Legends, because I played the phone game Legends too. I want those specific characters because they really grew on me. Bulma was actually absolutely hilarious in this. It was good to see certain things about Trunks and Goten, and it was good to see Pan. I don't think it's much of a spoiler because that's all trailer stuff. We seen like characters in the movie. I didn't really go deep into it, but I like that the Red Ribbon Army is back, and they just kind of just keep doing things. Because in reality, if we really want to be specific, like Frieza's come to Earth, like he came to Earth, and Trunks had to stop him. Obviously, that was in the old animation, but you really think about it, man, these Red Army people could have androids that are stronger than Frieza. Stronger than Frieza is crazy. This is all human-made technology. So if you really want to think about it, I always had a theory that I guess you can consider androids, but technically they're human/machine. So they would be like the strongest humans, like humans that are stronger than characters like Frieza and these new characters like Cell. But okay, we'll speed past that. What's some more things I specifically liked? I like how they didn't go predictable with it, in a sense. I'll explain that more later in the spoiler review. But I like that I like the fights. I like the way they chose to keep certain characters out of it. I like Broly appearing. I like that was really a cool moment, and Broly being there. I like some comedy stuff with Beerus. Alright, so I think at this point it's pretty much good to say that we've covered like the basic topics, the stuff I can't really say, but I want to say what I can't say. I want to get to the spoiler review now, so if you don't want to hear the spoilers for this, and you don't want to go like do a breakdown. I'm gonna go down to like pretty much every part of the movie I can remember, and I want to go down from there and just kind of really explain how I like this part, that part. So if you don't like that, I appreciate you guys for watching. And thanks for watching the video. Let me know in the comments below whether you want to see more stuff like this. Now we can get to the spoiler review. So once again, if you're not really ready to see the spoiler review, click off. Alright, spoiler review. Let's go. So first of all, in the beginning of the movie, you get to see Piccolo and Pan training. You get to see them, fighting and training a little bit. And I think this is absolutely amazing because everybody knows in the community that Piccolo is like Gohan's really true father. Like, to be honest, it's like maybe they even try to play upon that a little bit, because I think in one part of the movie, Gohan mentions Goku, or Pan mentions Goku, and he was like, oh yeah, wait, your grandpa, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like he had to really, and Piccolo's just legitimately a member of the family. You see him in pictures and stuff. You see a lot of this back in the original Dragon Ball Z, where you see like Piccolo and Goku learning to drive and stuff. Piccolo just basically becoming a member of the family. And to be honest, it's a very touching thing, because for him being a very evil person in the beginning of the original series, or the end of the original series of Dragon Ball, him being King Piccolo or whatever, and then Piccolo Jr. or Ma Jr., whatever it's called, it's a cool moment to kind of flip that and have Piccolo be one of the most trusted allies like of all time. Practically, he's Goku's brother. In reality, he's really just like Goku's brother. He's an uncle to the family. So with Piccolo being like the best uncle aside, I really like him training Pan and trying to make her be able to fly and stuff. She runs off to school. So I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna like read it word for word, but I just want to mention some of the key points I couldn't mention a while ago. They show Gohan, and basically Gohan's like trying to figure out some very smart stuff. Gohan's a scholar. I'm gonna go into a little mini tangent right here, specifically on the fact that Gohan's a scholar, because what people don't seem to really understand is that I get that Gohan is a warrior, he's a Saiyan, and he was always prophesied to be like the main character of Dragon Ball, because in the original series in Dragon Ball Z, when Goku died, for people that don't know, Gohan was actually supposed to take over, and he was supposed to stay in charge. He was supposed to be like the head Saiyan in charge, but fans complained, fans whined about Goku being dead, and they eventually had to bring him back and kind of put Gohan to the sidelines. This is when he became like Great Saiyan Man, and he didn't really do much until he became Ultimate Gohan, and ultimately that didn't really matter. Like, it just really didn't matter. I don't want to get too off topic, but Gohan was supposed to be the lead, and that's pretty much what this movie is trying to show you. Like, Gohan, in all reality, Gohan is supposed to be stronger than Goku. This is just something that's been written for a while. Goku and Vegeta were supposed to take a back seat to Gohan, and this is what this movie shows, and it shows in a really good way. Now you see Gohan, he's so kind of like weak that he basically like Piccolo sneaks attacks him, and Gohan like tries to block it but doesn't get the other hit, the other strike, and then he makes Gohan wear like some weighted training while he's doing research, and you just really get to see like the everyday dynamic between those two, because Gohan is so wrapped up in this project, he wants Piccolo to go get Pan from school. They'll cause Piccolo to go pick up Pan. Now, Piccolo, he's pretty much always meditating and kind of doing a lot of mental fighting and doing a lot of training with the mental mind, and this is what he does. But then he ran into Two. Now Two is the android with like this snazzy personality. He's the one that's like, I don't really know how to explain his personality, but you've seen that type of character before. Like a really, really interesting character. He's fighting you, but you love the character. He's fighting your character that you like, but you love the character. Now, I skipped a lot of like backstory with Dr. Gero's grandson. I believe his grandson. They actually show Android 21. Now at this point, I did not know that Android 21 was technically his wife. I think I heard it, but I maybe forgot. I did hear that Android 16 was his son. But long story short, the descendant of Dr. Gero, his family member, is also a genius scientist. Now the reason why I say I like the way that they switched it up and didn't make it like very predictable was when they made him not really a bad guy. He didn't really care about revenge against Goku or whatever. He didn't care about none of that. all he really cared about was making superheroes. And then they got the one Red Ribbon guy who's basically like, yeah, he's been running Red Ribbon in silence this whole time, and just simple stuff like that. They had to kind of set up the villains. And as I go through this particular part, I want to go through some stuff I didn't like, but we'll say that for later, because mostly I did actually enjoy this movie quite a bit. Now getting back to Piccolo, and then I explain the whole story. Basically, Dr. Rhodes' descendant was tricked into thinking that Bulma was the leader of an evil cabal. And if you really think about it, it does actually kind of make sense a little bit. I mean, for one, Bulma's really housing a lot of different strong, world-shattering aliens. She has like the best tech in the world. Not only can she collect the Dragon Balls, which is a very mystical component that's supposed to span like generations of trying to find each Dragon Ball, but she also has all these strong fighters and all this money. So it can make it seem like they're ready to take over the world. I can see why he would easily tricked. My only problem with that is that he knew the guy was looking into him. He knew who the Red Ribbon Army was, and he kind of alluded to it a little bit later in the movie that he kind of knew that the Red Ribbon Army was the evil guys, but he, in the sake of research, he really didn't care. Because I was trying to figure out how he ended with the Red Ribbon Army and how he knew about them and their goals, but didn't know about Bulma, Vegeta, and all them. I mean, yeah. So then he has these androids, and then it's like Gamma and Beta, or something like that. I believe it's Alpha and Beta. It's something like that. They got a big number 1 and number 2 on their chest. Number 2 has that really awesome personality. Number 1 is like the strong silent type. So he sends number 2 out to Piccolo, and number 2 fights Piccolo, and you pretty much can see that Piccolo is outmatched very easily. Like, number 2 is really giving Piccolo the word right now. And the ray gun attack is really, really cool. That's a cool thing. He pretty much blows up everything and thinks that he's killed Piccolo, but obviously Piccolo's way smarter than that. So he basically follows him back to his base. Now, granted, in the beginning of like this fight, that fight in general, I think that I wasn't really sure whether Piccolo was weaker, because they didn't really go all out. To be truthfully honest, he didn't really do much damage on Piccolo for him to be really stressing. They kind of fought. He did a big blast. Piccolo escaped. It was the end of the story. But from the way that the context clues is shown, it pretty much shown that Piccolo would have lost that fight had they continued fighting. So they go back to the base. Long story short, Piccolo also infiltrates the base, dressed as one of the officers in there, and he basically hears about the whole plot to wipe out Goku and Vegeta and the whole gang. And this is where the interesting part comes in. They reveal Cell, like the Cell Max. When I first saw this movie, when they talking about this movie, and they saw like the little couple of clips they were showing or whatever, there was a couple of things I was really hyped about. It looked like Cell may be returning, and it looked like Broly would be returning. Safe to say I was disappointed in this version of Cell. We'll get to that a little bit later, because that actually deals with the actual fight. And like I said, we'll get to that later. But Cell Max, no, bro, no. I understand the need to bring back Frieza, maybe not, but the Golden Frieza thing was cool. And even if you wanted to bring back Cell in a certain way, I wouldn't be too mad at it, but not this way. So moving on from there, we're gonna speed up a little bit. I don't want to explain the whole synopsis of the movie over again. You have Piccolo, and he's basically sent to go retrieve Pan, because their next target is Goku. They realize that Piccolo's alive, but they want to target Goku, but they can't. So they have to go get Gohan. They know what Gohan is. They know what he works. They know that he's a warrior, and they think it's some kind of evil front. Well, they don't think, they know, but they're trying to trick the doctor. So all that kind of plays out. Piccolo actually gets to Pan first and basically briefs her on the plan. She plays alone, acting like she's helpless. Now, I knew that they were going to go this route. Like maybe where I thought originally when the Androids was going to like maybe beat up Piccolo and then take Pan. And that was going to be like the thing, that make him snap back into fighting form, that he had to go rescue Piccolo and Pan. But I like the way that the show did it in humor, but I'm skipping one important step, the biggest important step of this whole entire movie. When he calls Bulma to try to get Whis and Beerus on the line so that they can get Goku and Vegeta to come help. This is before he pretty much realized that they weren't going to be able to come down, and he had to use Gohan. He had to get Gohan to fight in shape. So 2 big key plots happen right here. For one, Bulma is like the funniest character in all of Dragon Ball, and I'm be honest, if more movies don't include her, I feel like every movie that includes her is a great movie. This one had a lot more Bulma than in the Broly movie, so it was fantastic. But let's jump off on the Beerus world now. Now you see Goku and Broly kind of training and sparring and stuff, and Broly's about to lose control, and Goku has to calm him down, like, yeah, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't let your power just rage and stuff. And you get to see Broly, man. You get to see Broly and his whole gang again, and it's actually very, very cool. I'm actually glad they're actually keeping them in the story. I really am. I'm just so glad that they're not throwaway characters. Where, yeah, they were cool in this one movie, but they're off on this other planet. You actually get to see them. And I think that's what's really a good part of the movie. Just like how they have Vegeta now. So I seen somebody kind of comment this before I actually watched the movie. They commented that they hated how the characters felt out of character, and I'm not saying specifically I've seen it, but I kind of get what they mean. But if you read the manga, you can kind of understand a little bit more of what's going on. You basically see Vegeta kind of meditating, and he's telling Goku that basically the reason why he's meditating is because he wants to break his body out of old habits. And he wants to basically unlock like some kind of new form of calmness. You know what I'm saying? In terms of just like fighting. And Goku's basically telling him like, bro, it don't matter. Like, just fight. And having Vegeta so like zenned out and stuff. You can kind of see it. If you actually like look at the fighting, you can kind of see where it feels like Vegeta is kind of dodging a lot of Goku's attacks. And he's kind of attacking without thinking until the battle starts to ramp up. And at first they kind of teased us by saying like, do a Saiyan battle royale, but then it just said that Broly can't participate because he's too strong. Another part of small interest, Broly's like compatriots, the green girl, I think her name is Chila, and the other guy, they're basically staying on Beerus's planet. Beerus wakes up, he likes Chila. It's a very funny moment in the theaters, but it's all fun, it's all interesting. And you get to see Broly seeing Goku and Vegeta fight. You can noticeably tell that it's making him like, he's enjoying it. Basically, he's liking the fighting between the two Saiyans and stuff. He likes like that type of battle, and it's getting his Saiyan instincts, you know, pumping. So we move on back to Earth as pretty much Whis' staff, Bulma's trying to contact to try to get Goku and Vegeta down back to Earth, and it's not working. And which was a crazy fan service shot of Bulma. Woo, crazy shot. But to speed up back to the other plot point, we see Piccolo kind of leave, and he goes to try to recruit all these very powerful warriors, and they honestly just can't get together right now. He realizes that he really can't call on Majin Buu. He can't call on really anybody else, so he has to devise a way to get Gohan to reach his max potential. But before he has to reach his max potential, then they kind of do a callback to like Guru and how Guru unlocked the potential for Gohan and Krillin a while back, and it made them crazy stronger. And a lot of the older games actually had unleashed potential as a transformation, not potential unleashed, which was Mystic, and it was a whole other thing. Well, Piccolo pretty much has his potential unleashed. He meets up with Dende, who is still there for some reason. Dende basically says, hey, you know what? I can actually cheat, and it makes the Dragon Balls stronger for no reason. And the Dragon Balls might be able to do the thing that Guru does, because I'm not old enough to know how to unleash somebody's potential, and Dragon Balls are all powerful and almighty. So basically, Piccolo meets Bulma, who collects the Dragon Balls and puts them together for no reason. Now, she actually does have a reason. It's quite hilarious, as you know. It's very just like cosmetic surgery type thing, and it's very petty and not really what the Dragon Balls, the mythical Dragon Balls, should be used for. But obviously, Piccolo asks for his powers to be unleashed, and Shenron gives him a little bit more on top, which we'll get into later. So as we fast forward and see that we get to basically see Gohan turn up, because Gohan is upset that they have Pan. They have Pan, and like he is going off. So they basically go back to the hideouts when all the big fighting and stuff starts. And I'm not gonna try to make it too long on this part, but it's where all the fighting and stuff happens, and everybody's angry, everybody's fighting, and then This is like the scene where Gohan is fighting, and basically Piccolo does the same thing that Frieza does in the Broly movie, where he kills Broly's father. But in the new movie, he's basically telling Pan to act scared or look scared. He's jacking Pan up, and this actually makes Gohan lose it, and he powers up and stuff, which allows him to go into Mystic Gohan, which is a form that he has kind of trouble getting back into because he's not really in fighting shape. Considering that this is after the Tournament of Power, is a little bit weird to me because it seems like he's falling out of fighter shape rather quickly. Like, cause he kind of bulked up for the tournament, and got his ultimate Gohan form back. He really kind of bulked up, got a little strong. Him and Goku had that interesting fight in Super, and now it seems like it's only been probably a couple months. And now it just seems like he just fell like right back into it, which means that it's weird that Saiyans can degrade that fast if they don't train, but whatever. Probably movie magic. So long story short, obviously they start fighting. One starts fighting Gohan, and then they eventually try to jump Gohan, prompting Piccolo to pop out of nowhere. Them two, fight the other two, and it's a really, really good, interesting battle scene. Like I said, I really like those new androids, the 1 and 2 androids. I really like them. I think they're great characters, and interesting enough for the screen. So we'll see what they do with them later on. But they're both fighting, and pretty much Piccolo falls only to be reborn as basically a Namekian god Piccolo, whatever they want to call that new form of Piccolo. He basically gets big and bulky, and when I first saw the scans and the pictures of it, I didn't like it. In the movie, I still like it though. It makes sense. Obviously, most Super Saiyan forms that make you look slender, or they make your hair grow longer and you look skinnier. But Piccolo, his form is just like strength. You know what I'm saying? Just getting more strength, just being stronger. After that, he's completely outclassing Android 2. Now, obviously, as they start to lose, they start to realize the truth about them not being a bad organization. And pretty much in the most cliche move ever, they find out that the guy was absolutely lying, which is not shocking. And then he goes down to activate Cell Max. Now, early in the show, in the movie, or whatever you want to call it, they pretty much mentioned that Cell Max is actually way more powerful than Cell. He's crazily more powerful than Cell. He's like the ultimate work. He has a more reptilian form. This is where I feel like they dropped the ball. I feel like what made Cell so great as a villain for me is that for one, he talked a lot of junk. He talked a lot of trash. He was very confident. He had pretty much a personality. In this specific movie, they decided not to give him a personality, which makes a lot of sense because they don't have a lot of time for the movie, like the movie runtime. So you really can't have a lot of banter going on. But they basically made this mindless creature, which I will say really impressed me on like the big scale of that creature, like how strong it was, its attacks are all pretty impressive. Everybody pulls up, everybody starts fighting the big giant beast. They're basically jumping this big giant Cell. We get robbed of a moment to see like teenager Gotenks. Because when we see Trunks and Goten, they basically, they sprung. And Gohan basically says, yeah, my Saiyan is little. And then all of a sudden, they get a crazy growth spurt, basically. Which is basically saying that's why Trunks and Goten were little for so long. Basically, like, I built in an excuse on that. So, pretty much with that down the drain, everybody's fighting. And it's not working. But luckily, it is weird to me, but we'll get into that later. Because, we'll get into it right now. It's weird that that guy created the robot so strong that if he had not created a weak spot for it, they probably would have all died. I mean, Gohan still could have awakened and, been in a match. But the fact is that they had to use that weak spot on his head as a way to trigger him or injure Cell Max, which is crazy. So basically, Cell Max has a built-in destruct button. They just had to hit it. They had to press it, so to speak. So they're fighting, and it's just cool. I like the way that the fight was choreographed. I like the way that Cell Max was so impressive. So every time he would not be able to fight this way, he would fight another way. Only for number 2 to do the coolest move in the entire show. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, but it was cool. He basically just went up into the sky and did a justice kick from the atmosphere, which was super fire. He basically just use the velocity of falling back down to earth to basically use this really giant super kick, in which Cell Max just absolutely blocks, and it just kind of rips Cell Max's arm off, which don't know why he didn't grow another one, because he's Piccolo. Like Cell had Piccolo's cells in there, but whatever. Well, long story short, number 2 dies. Very sad moment in the show because he was a really cool character. The other robot protects the doctor who's away. You know, he's kind of caught in the blast. Like I said, it was a really cool kick, but it was in vain, but not really. So then we get to basically stage 3, final act of this play. And we see Piccolo fighting this giant monster. They do actually like hit his head and stuff. They do manage to get there, but you know, like this thing is really resilient and it's really fighting back. So basically you see Piccolo telling Gohan that he needs to Gohan to hit that spot with all he got with. They basically say like Kamehameha or something, which is why I realized that Gohan was gonna do something interesting. I thought Gohan was gonna do a Masenko Ha, but you know he didn't, and because they kind of mentioned it's like, you know, do the Kamehameha or something. So obviously, man, this plays out a lot like the Raditz fight. Piccolo's trying to pin down this giant bug thing, this giant Cell Max, and it's not working. Piccolo's getting absolutely devastated. So obviously Cell Max hit what looked like to be a killing blow, and Gohan lost it. I don't know what they calling this, Prime Gohan, Beast Gohan, or whatever, but honestly, silver hair looks cool. It is what it is. Silver hair looks cool. Reminds me of Baby. But the thing was really just interesting about all that is that his hair looked crazy. He looked like a Super Saiyan 3 mid-transition. Like the amount of hair he had on his head was crazy. He burst into his silver form after building up his energy, which in reality, man, Dragon Ball Z is a little weird because you're getting stomped out and all of a sudden you have another form and it makes you so strong he can't even hit you anymore. Like, yeah. But at this point, I feel like we pretty much already know Dragon Ball Z's power scaling is off and weird and unbalanced. We don't really care. But we do get this Beast Gohan moment, and it is absolutely fantastic because we see Cell trying to like do this really impressive blast that was shown in the outer atmosphere or whatever it was, and he's condensing it into an attack. And then you could just kind of see Gohan charging up the special beam cannon on to fire the most coolest special beam cannon in this entire show. Like that was a really like the beast form super special beam cannon. That was really a sight to see. Obviously it blowed up Cell. Well, one person was saying that they kind of feel like it was weird that Cell, like Goku had to sacrifice himself the first time to save Cell. I mean, not to save Cell, but to save everybody else from Cell blowing up in the Cell games. But here the explosion didn't seem nowhere near as massive, and somebody said it might have been because of the inner thing, you know. So it makes sense. A long story short, man, Gohan saves the day. Gohan becomes the most powerful character in the series. I think they said it scales to like being stronger than Goku and Vegeta currently. So that's strong. It's proved that pretty much Gohan will be the protector of Earth while Goku and Vegeta's away. If they can't get there, Gohan is there to basically protect everyone. And they're gonna need to because Black Frieza's on the prowl, man. He's here. So that's pretty much all I gotta say as far as like the rundown of the movie. I like this movie a lot. In fact, I'm willing to say I like it more than Broly, even though I think Broly as a whole was just a better production. As far as like a better movie, like with a better story and everything else, I'm obviously going to this movie. Better production because them fights were crazy, and I didn't too much care for CG, but I actually liked it by the end. I felt like it was Kakarot, like a version of Kakarot being played in front of me. I liked it. CG is not always bad. So I just want to say, did you guys have any particular thoughts on this movie? How did you feel it stacked up to the Broly movie? And do you think it was a good movie? Have you seen it yet? If not, you probably haven't made it to the end of this video. Probably nobody made it to the end of this video. But thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.